Hi, I would like to show do-it-yourself cable mods that I made for my AKG K612 PRO headphones. These are really great headphones, but they have one issue, standard cable, and it's non-removable. A higher priced model 712 PRO, it has a detachable cable. This one is not detachable. And I didn't like it from there. I have them for about 2.5 years now, and I didn't like, this is a standard cable. I didn't like it from day one, but it kind of works, so I kind of used it, but finally I decided to try a do-it-yourself cable. And the cable is actually fine. It works, but it looks kind of very generic, very cheap. And it's 3 meters long. 3 meters is way too long for me, so I had to do some cable management. I wanted 1.5 meters cable, and I wanted better looking and hopefully better sounding. While I didn't really have had lots of complaints about sound quality, I decided to make a cable and convert to detachable cable, my AKG K612 PRO. So what I did, as you can see, I basically cut the cable. I left this piece. It still makes sense because, first of all, the standard cable is apparently high enough quality since AKG puts them on $200 headphones. And I could take it apart and put the cable inside, but I think that short piece like this, it does not have any effect on overall sound quality. Because cables, if it's short, the shorter the better, so I don't expect too much sound quality difference, so just decided to kind of go the easy way. Instead of taking it apart, just cut it and put here this 3.5 millimeter plug. On headphone side, I would suggest using, it actually has a Sennheiser logo, some Chinese cheap but high quality 3.5 millimeter plug. As you can see, it fits fine. This cable, it fits even though it's a small. On headphone side, I would suggest, if you would want to repeat this, use 3.5 millimeter because it's big enough for this cable, but it's light. If you're gonna this is for comparison, this is a 6.3 millimeter plug. As you can see, it's huge and it's really heavy compared to this. So on headphones, I would suggest going with 3.5 millimeter, and on the other end with 6.3 if your amp is 6.3 millimeter input. But I think that most, if not all, headphone amps are 6.3 millimeter input. So what I did is on this side it's 3.5. So connect it like this, and it's not a XLR or mini XLR. I don't see any point for XLR. Frankly, it fits well. It's not going to fall off. It stays in place fine. And here, since my amp is 6.3 millimeter, I originally actually put 3.5 here and used it with a converter. But later I put a normal 6.3, so I could get rid of converters. And so here's the wire. As you can see, it has silver color. It's advertised as silver. It's likely silver coated. It's not actually silver. I bought this wire 10 meters on AliExpress for $10. And it's supposed to be OCC. Well, if you don't know what's OCC, just look it up. Basically, it's supposed to be not just super pure material, it's a material with so-called long crystals. What it means is that normal copper, even high purity copper, it has these kind of crystals of small size. And what it means is that there's lots of borders between those crystals. So OCC is a material that is specifically made to have longer, so basically super uniform parts of material, fairly long, and this reduces the number of transitions between different areas inside the material. There's actually explanation of this online, and the technique was worked out by some Japanese guy, some professor in Japan, this OCC, but you can find these type of wires on AliExpress, for instance, copper and silver. So this is supposed to be OCC wire. The insulation material is a teflon, just $10. Prices may vary, and this is a 7 strand. So it's not a single wire, it's actually 7 strands inside. They also sell, I think, something like 20 strands, but those are $20 for 10 meters. And after I got the wire, I basically made this 6-strand cable. I did it myself. I had to find online how to do it. If you would like to do something similar, I suggest to buy a cable instead of wire. So because making this cable, it does take a bit of effort, it does take a bit of practice, and it does take some time. It takes a few hours to actually make this. So finished cable, like 1 meter 20, 1 meter 50, this one is 1 meter 50. So out of 10 meters of this, I got 1 meter 50 of 6-strand headphone cable. I would suggest to just buy on AliExpress, just buy the cable already braided. No need to waste time making it. And if you prefer copper, you can get copper or the silver look. And basically soldered 2 connectors. And I got myself a really nice looking custom do-it-yourself headphone cable. So first of all, it's definitely an improvement in terms of looks, as you can see. And it's better. It actually has lower friction because it's actually Teflon and it's braided. It's very low friction. If your cable gets caught on your clothes, going with this type of cable is very low friction. And surprisingly, there's slight improvements in sound quality. I have a headphone amp, also do-it-yourself, Biodynamics A1 copy, and I didn't expect that I would actually hear difference, but I do hear difference. And between this and the original AKG cable, anytime I would choose this cable. It does sound like there's more air. The sound is kind of more open, basically. It's not a huge, but it's not something that I have to kind of try to hear very hard. Just listening for a few minutes, it's definitely there. So not a big deal, but it cost me just $15 total for 2 connectors and wire. For $15 to get better sounding AKG K612 PROs, I think it's a very meaningful investment. Finished cables cost something like $50 on AliExpress, so with connectors, but you can just, if you can solder connectors, just get the braided cable and solder to connectors. It's a lot cheaper, maybe $20, $25. So overall, if you were looking for a way to get rid of cheap and not very practical in some situations 3-meter long standard cable on your K612 Pros, here's what you can do. Really cheap, easy to do. If you want, you can remove this and solder it directly inside, but just as well, leaving this small piece I don't think it makes any huge difference. So cheap and very satisfied with results. Okay, thank you for watching.